Hi, I'm Louise. I love playing cozy games, and today I'm actually going to be talking about cozy games. I love playing cozy games. It's so nice to come home and just chill and play something low stakes with very little to no combat, just very relaxed, something you don't need to worry about. It is super nice, and it's fun to see this genre become bigger and bigger as more and more people become interested and more gaming companies and more indie devs make more cozy games. I feel like cozy games are still figuring out what they want to be, and it seems like a lot of cozy games are trying to replicate the most successful few. And while that's fine, I want to play more cozy games that don't have farming or fetch quests. I like the kind of thing, but that's not all I want to play. I wanted to search for some variety in my cozy gaming. I thought I'd search for games that still feel cozy but didn't necessarily have to have farming. And not that farming is bad. I just don't want to play games that have farming all the time. I want to do other stuff. And as well as farming, I don't also love having to find random stuff for people. A lot of cozy games are like, hey, go find me this item and find me this item. I am terrible at finding stuff. You can talk to my mom about this. I was notoriously bad at finding X ingredient in the cabinet. And I just don't want to do that. I want to just chill out, not have to worry, and just play something cozy that isn't farming related or has to do with fetch quests. So here's my list of cozy games that don't have farming or fetch quest. Let's go. My first one I want to talk about is Unpacking. Unpacking is a relaxing puzzle game where you unpack. It sounds very simple in its premise, but I promise you it's really relaxing and really fun. So basically the premise is you're unpacking for one person and you kind of get to see the different spaces in their life as they grow older, and what it's fun to see what things continue in the unpacking stuff, and then also what gets left behind, and see the different spaces of different times in their life and what was important to them. And I also love the noises that the stuff makes when you unpack it. It's just very satisfying. And I also love that random items in boxes, like you'll have a box that's full of kitchenware and then there's a random shoe in there that you have to take out. It feels very true to life for me. I don't know about you guys when you unpack. And when you're done, you can watch a time lapse of all the stuff you unpacked, which I love time lapses like that. And mine always end up being at the very end. I'm trying to make sure that the books are all in rainbow order because that's what I do at my house. And if it looks fun to you, I'd highly recommend it. It's very relaxing, very low stress. It's available, as far as I can tell, on basically anything you can play it on. And it's such a small game, I don't think you'll have any trouble playing it somewhere. I played it on PC and found it very enjoyable on PC. So I don't know what it's like on other platforms, but I'm sure it's great there too. My second option is a little more complicated, but still very fun. I really love Parkasaurus. So Parkasaurus is a zoo creation and management game, but instead of zoo animals, you're managing dinosaurs. And this art style is just so cute. The dinosaurs look kind of goofy and silly and cute. They're like pink and purple. And I also feel like if you're intimidated by this kind of game, this game does a great job of teaching you its mechanics. It starts you off in a few, if you're doing like the campaign version. So there's a campaign version where you can go in different places and manage different parks basically that have already started. You can also just start from scratch if you want. I still have never done that because I really like the campaign, but I'm sure for some people that's a great way to do it. But when you're starting out, it does a great job of teaching you the mechanics of the game. It's not as complicated as some other park builders. It doesn't allow for as much customization necessarily, which I find to be kind of nice. There's not as many options, and so I'm not overwhelmed when I'm playing it. You spend a deal of time when you're acquiring new dinosaurs and adding them to your park, building them biomes that they'd be comfortable in. So you have to decide, well, it'll tell you, which is nice, You have to set up their biomes so they'd be comfortable in that space. So you'll be adding like rocks and trees, and some like to be in more mountainous areas than others, and some are in the desert or whatever. And so you're spending time creating these enclosures. That's a good word for it. Creating these enclosures for them to be comfortable in. And you can even buy them little hats to wear, which I think is really fun. And it brings more people into your park if your dinosaurs have hats. And anyway, it's just cute and fun and silly and happy. I have had a dinosaur escape on me once. Oh my gosh. He is out. Oh geez. But it was resolved fairly quickly and made for kind of an exciting playthrough. You also like are managing not just the dinosaurs but the employees and the guests. So you're like hiring employees, trying to get the best ones but not pay too much for them, and then you're also managing guest expectations. So you're trying to decorate the park but also like try and make it pretty, but stuff that they don't like toilets and trash cans are I think are the things they don't like. So toilets and trash cans they don't like, but they're necessary for your park, and so you're trying to decorate around them and try and make it still seem nice and make the customer anyway. I could get into it. I really like it. I think it's very fun if that kind of thing is your thing, and it's very beginner friendly if you've wanted to try that kind of game but are kind of overwhelmed by some of the bigger ones. This one feels to me easier to pick up if you have not played a game like that. And it's available on PC and the Switch. I have not played it on the Switch. It works great on the PC, and so I don't know how it works on the Switch. The third game I'd like to talk about is, I actually don't know if I'm going to say this correctly, but it's Daronco Wonko. I don't know. And according to Steam, it's an action game. I was looking up the genres of all these games, and it told me that this game is an action game, and I was like, I guess, but I'll tell you the premise and you can decide for yourself if it's an action game. The premise is you are a Pomeranian. Your owners are either asleep or out of the house, and your entire job is to mess up the house as much as possible. Like literally the way you get upgrades and the way that you succeed in the game, like the way it's counting your success in this game, is by the amount of money of damages you're causing to this house, which I think is so funny. So you're this tiny Pomeranian, you can rub in the dirt, there's like juice everywhere, there's a wine cellar that you can make a mess of, and then as you make a bigger mess, you get upgrades, which are hats and like tools in this game that can either just be cosmetic or they can make your job a little easier by giving you like access to an elephant that squirts out paint or something, and then a cannonball that shoots out paintballs. It's very silly and very fun and also free. It's just on Steam, but it is totally free. I would recommend it if you just want to try it out. And just a quick note, it is in Japanese initially. There are tutorials online that'll teach you how to switch the language. It's pretty easy, but it will start out in Japanese and you'll have to switch it to English or whatever language you want to do it in. But that's just a quick heads up. That's the only, I think, barrier of entry here. And I guess not having a PC. I love just the chaos of this game. It's so silly and it feels very cute, but you're like destroying things, which is kind of different from your normal cozy game where you're mostly like making things look nicer. This is like, no, we're going to make as much chaos as possible. So I'd highly recommend it. The fourth game I'd like to talk about is Viewfinder. This is a puzzle game where you use photos and cameras to solve puzzles. It's really beautiful and a fun puzzle game and very relaxed. It's so nice because if you make a mistake, there's literally a reverse button and it feels like you're reversing a videotape, and it just takes you back to wherever you want to go where you messed up. It's seriously so friendly to experimentation, and like it's gorgeous. The music is really nice. It's very calming. The whole vibe is just very chill. And it's fun as the game goes on. There's a story that develops, which I don't really want to talk about because I don't want to spoil anything. And I think it's more fun if you experience that part of it without knowing kind of what's coming. I think it's fun to experience it as the game presents it to you. So I don't want to spoil anything. But I find it very relaxing. Even if the puzzles can be a little challenging at times, it's still fun and uses that creative part of your brain, but also the puzzle part of your brain. Yeah, I think it's really fun. It's very relaxing. It looks like it's available on PlayStation and PC. I've played it again on PC. That's my main gaming console. So all of these I played on PC. And it works great on the PC. I'm sure it works great on the PlayStation. I'd highly recommend it. I think it's really fun and very relaxing. And there's also may or may not be a cat that you can pet. you can pet the cat eventually. And then last but certainly not least, the game I'd like to talk about is Paparazzi. Your job, you are a camera. Like literally you are a camera. And your job is to take pictures of dogs and build a social media following. This game is so silly and so fun. All the dogs wear fun outfits and you can customize them how you want them to. They also, some of them have like jobs, and like some are skateboarding, some are riding bikes, some are playing on the beach. And depending on the time of day you go, you get different like quests from people of different pictures to take with different dogs. And you get different requests, and as you do those requests, you earn, I think they're bones that will give you access to this, access to more lenses and more filters, so you can kind of expand the variety of kinds of pictures you can take. I especially love this game because I have a film background, and taking pictures and messing around with lenses and stuff is really fun for me, and so I really enjoyed that. And then also you just get to be with these dogs, and you can pet every dog. And there are so many of them, and they just love being pet. It's so cute. And it's just kind of got this fun sense of humor. It's very silly. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. I mean, what kind of... why would you do that if this was your game premise? And I just think it's such a joy to play. I highly recommend it to any cozy gamer that has any interest in dogs or pictures. And it's just a fun way to express yourself in a cute, safe environment, I guess. It feels very just chill and low-key. And it's just really fun. It is available on Xbox, PC, and Switch. Again, I've only played it on PC. It works good. I imagine it would work great on the Switch and the Xbox, but I don't know. Those are the games I'd recommend. I'm sure there are so many more. I feel like after watching the Wholesome Direct, there were a bunch that weren't farming related. I feel like the new trend that we're going into now is restaurant management games, which I think is interesting because there were like several new games that are coming out that are restaurant management games, which I'm interested to see how they're different from each other. And I feel like there are less farming games coming out, which is great for me. Not that, again, I don't dislike farming games. I just don't want to play that all the time. You know, I like a bit of variety. So I'm curious to see as we move into the restaurant management phase of cozy gaming, what the new trends will be as time goes on. So I would love to hear what recommendation you guys have. These are just the ones that I've played and am aware of. I'm sure there's so many others that are calming and relaxing, but also not a farming game. And I'd also love to hear your favorite farming games too. I think everybody has a favorite because there's so many and they all do different things well. Yeah, I would love to know what you guys are playing and what you guys are loving, whether it's farming games or something else. Thank you so much for watching. This was a joy to put together. I love playing these kinds of games. If this is a kind of video that you want more of, let me know. I've been doing a lot of movie reviews lately, and so it feels kind of weird to do a video game thing, even though I created this channel to do video game stuff. But here we are. Thank you so much.